You just brought up quarterbacks. What are some of the quarterbacks out there, if you had a list, you say, these are some dope quarterbacks that I would love to throw me the ball the second part of my career?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to say one of my favorite quarterbacks that I've been watching since he came in the league is Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he reminds me of an old school or of a new school Andrew Luck. And you know, I love Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. You know, man, he's Houston kid, your dog, Jalen. Number 3, who I would love to have a ball thrown by, Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Ooh,
Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with. I gotta go with the underdog, man. The people, not a lot of people respect this guy, but you know, as a throwing quarterback, Lamar Jackson, obviously. And number 5. That's a good one. That's a good question. Number 5.
Dak Prescott?
I like Dak Prescott.
Any of these young rookie quarterbacks stand out to you? Do you want to catch a ball from a young player? Are you past that point in your career? Like some guys out there.
Yeah, I'm past that point in my career. But I heard that the quarterback we got from Houston is pretty good. I like him. My grandfather was sending me his highlights on YouTube. But my number 5 quarterback, man, because there's some good quarterbacks out there that's young and good. I'm gonna have to go with my dude in San Diego or the Chargers.
Herbert.
I'm gonna have to
Justin
go with
Herbert.
man.
Justin Herbert. Who did you watch? Who did you appreciate? You know, who did you mimic your game after, if you did anybody?
Honestly, I didn't grow up necessarily watching like receivers. Like I was a huge Aaron Brooks fan. I'm a huge Saints fan. Like Aaron Brooks, that was like my idol.
Right.
But once I started watching receivers, like Ocho, like I remember going on YouTube, watching Ocho at the park doing like his cone drills and things like that. I used to just go through that when I really started taking like football seriously. I would say Ocho was probably number 1 for me, him and Julio.
Your name also got thrown into the mix during Lamar and that Baltimore saga again, and it was reported that you and Odell Beckham were 2 names that Lamar threw out there and said, if you guys want to make me happy and you want me back, this is what I want. He got Odell. The Baltimore Ravens reportedly said, we can't afford to get you both. In a perfect world, if you were able to make that situation work, would you? Would that be intriguing to you? Did you hear about Lamar's request?
I love Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's one of my favorite athletes, and since I've been watching sports, I'm a sports fan. So I was watching Lamar when he played Clemson, my alumni, and I was like, who is this kid? So I've been a fan of Lamar for a long time. So, you know, obviously he's one of the greats, and, you know, I would be lying to sit here and say, you know, it wouldn't be an honor one day, you know, if my career allows me to play that long, to play with a great guy and a great quarterback like Lamar. Or, you know, with Tom Brady, I was like, I want to play with a Tom Brady. I'm a receiver. You know, Marsh, you know how it is. As
That's
a receiver,
right.
You want to play with some of the best quarterbacks, you know, that's out there. And Lamar is obviously one of those.
They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 in 5 years. They've been to the finals in those 5 years once, I believe.
Without a superstar. They got star. Yeah, I said it.
Who's not a superstar?
They're star.
You're
No
saying the Celtics
superstars.
have no superstars.
They have
zero
they have
superstars.
they have 2 stars. You perked up a little bit, like, oh my goodness, you 2 superstars. Where you want to
You
take this
don't think Jason
conversation?
Tatum's a superstar?
Yeah, that's
do.
right.
Yes.
What makes him a superstar?
What do you mean? We're not just talking about his impact in the game. A superstar transcends the game. Jason Tatum has signature shoes. He has commercials. His face is on bags of ruffles and lays. I mean, it's Jason Tatum.
This is how I'm gonna break it down. Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Joker, okay, Luka, Ja Morant. Is Ja Morant a superstar? Dame Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum. I think he's borderline. He's borderline. Like,
Wait,
you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me.
How are you putting Ja Morant as a superstar, but not Jason Tatum.
Ja Morant's not a superstar?
But I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is how are you putting him in the superstar conversation, but not Jason Tatum?
He's just not a superstar to me, and I think y'all throw that around too much. Why does everybody give Kyler Murray such a hard time? You even had Larry Fitzgerald come out and talk about a few things there. What I see is a guy that is just like he's electrifying. You know, he can make mostly all of the throws. He's a human joystick, right? He is a little fiery, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But why are people giving Kyler such a tough time?
I think people give him a tough time because what you said, he's fiery. The dude is a competitor, a real competitor. I've never seen anything like it, and I love it. That's why him and I sometimes we butt heads, but it's love. It's like butting head with your brother. It's like both of y'all want to win, both of y'all want to compete, and you're mad as hell that you're not getting the job done. So for me, that's what it is. And I'm pretty sure that's why he get the stuff that he get, his body language or whatever people say, you know. But Tom Brady go cuss out everybody on the sideline, throw whatever, and that's just that's Tom Brady. But Kyler do it, and you know it's the talking topic of everything. So
right.
You know, I think for him he's misunderstood, but he's competitive. The dude like playing basketball. He want to beat you on shooting things in the trash can, ping pong, whatever. And for me, I love it. You know, like you said, him and I just haven't had much time to build that chemistry. In the past 2 years, I haven't been on the field. And I want to win a Super Bowl. He want to win Super Bowls. So I think when you got two competitive people like that, you know, I'm pretty sure he was, in a way, you know, probably upset, like, darn, you know, I won't hop out here, you know, and mad at me, like, you know, dang, big bro, you know, we try and do this together. So, you know, obviously, you know, both of us are two competitive people, but Kyler probably, you know, he's misunderstood because of that, because he's so competitive.
Can you give me your top 5 best dressed NFL players?
I go me one.
Ooh.
Okay, bet.
I go Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
I go Stephon Diggs. I go Jalen.
Okay.
Then on the low, be smooth. Don't nobody really pay attention to it. Bradbury.
Ooh.
The corner,
Bradbury
your
be
guy.
smooth with
Bro,
it.
you can't have 2 Eagles, right? Is he?
Technically, it's 3 because he put himself on the list. You got to give number 5 to one player on the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that's a good one.
You have to. We're filling in 5 with one player from the Dallas Cowboys. Who you giving it to?
I say CD.
CDB
Okay.
putting it on.
You see how he avoided the Dak? Sidestep Dak. He went
see-
straight to the wide receiver.
There you go. How you claim to be a Knicks fan, but then jump to the other side of the bridge and then go to the Nets? So she got beef with you because she's a real New Yorker, she say. So Ashley, Michael Rappaport, Ashley Nicole Moss.
The history is about 15 years deep. I'm a New Yorker. I was at the Garden, Ashley Nicole Moss, before you were born. I was there when you could smoke weed at the Garden. When they disrespected the great Charles Oakley, the fact that these Twitter Knicks fans sit there and continue to get abused by the tyrant owner who has treated Knicks fans like we're trash, and just like any true blue Knicks fan, that's when I said, I am done with the Knicks.
When you talk about James Dolan being the owner, but he's still our owner, and that didn't stop you from making your rounds as a proud Knicks fan.
This year he was doing that?
For sure was.
Why wouldn't I?
Because you're not really a Knicks fan. You can't disappear for X amount of years, get your tickets reneged, and have all this beef with the organization. And then when we go on this incredible playoff run this season, you pop out of the woodwork.
This is not an incredible playoff run. We did it to the second round and got bumped out of the 6th game. This is why Knicks fans, we've been stomped on so hard.
There's no
We've been
we, Michael.
abused. Ashley,
That's
this is
not
what
how
I
it
want
works,
you to say
Michael.
right now. I want you to repeat after me. James Dolan is a miserable piece of shit.
I'll say that when you repeat after me.
don't wanna say it.
I'll say that when you
All right,
repeat
no.
after me. I'm
All right.
Michael Rappaport. I'm not a real Knicks fan. You go first. I think there's a few things. I think that it's disappointment in himself. I think it's maybe embarrassment in himself. I think it's maybe frustration in himself.
Yep.
This is why I particularly, when talking about things like this, and I know people, initially said I was making excuses for him, but I'm somebody who I tend to try to see things from multiple angles, multiple perspectives, because things aren't always what they seem to be. And while, yes, you can go ahead and chastise his behaviors, and we all have said that they're not, the behaviors of a superstar in this league, and that he has a responsibility, although he is young, to be better and to be an example not only for his own fans, but for the brand that he works for, the NBA. But I think this is why I also, when having these conversations, I tend to lean towards the side of grace also, because you really never know what somebody is going through.
Right.
And thankfully he's okay. But if he wasn't, there'd be a lot of people who would feel bad about the way that they have approached this story. And you can go ahead and hold someone accountable, but you can also do it with kindness. And I think that people forget that in this hot take business that we're in, where it's a lot of stories being shared and a lot of opinions and perspectives and different walks of life. But I would want people, we're not talking about wins and losses. We're not talking about, should he have taken that shot? Should he have not? We're talking about people's lives. Yeah. We're talking about individuals. We're talking about human beings. And it's important to hold people accountable and have, your opinions, and everyone's entitled to that, but you can do it with kindness. And I just wish that when it came to this topic and a bunch of other conversations that we have had about players who've come out about having mental health, issues, or just, dealing with, the trials and tribulations of being a superstar in the league, I just wish that people were a little bit more understanding that they're athletes, but they're human. And we always talk about humanizing athletes, but I think that a lot of people forget that when they don't agree with the action of the athlete.
Right.
So